All right, folks, good afternoon from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Good morning if you're watching on the West Coast. And good evening if you are watching somewhere where it's after 5 p.m. Again, welcome to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the 2017 USBC Queens. With Aaron Smith, Jason Thomas, my name is Emil Williams Jr. We appreciate you tuning in. It's our round one, and continued live coverage continues now with B Squad. A Squad in the books, got their 5 games in. On top of the leaderboard currently, Shannon Pluhowski at plus 141. In second, Josie Ernest Barnes at plus 133. Missy Parkin plus 112 in third. Holly Ann Johansson at plus 109. And Nadasha Kovalova in fifth at plus 96. It's your top 5 after 5 games of qualifying competition. Again, C Squad still to take the lanes. Right now joining us on our featured pairs, which are 27 and 28, along with 29 and 30. Tanya Lopez from Mexico, Mariana Ayala from Puerto Rico, but living, of course, in Euless, Texas. And Marianne Clausen on 29 and 30, Julie Ochepik, Danielle Vandermeer, and the 2-time reigning PWA Player of the Year, Liz Johnson. Nice early double there for Tanya Lopez. I want to say hello to all of our viewers. Logging on to watch some early Queens action. Of course, business will pick up in a couple of days. We get to the top 64 and match play bracket. Good shot from Liz Johnson. Liz out early, spare and 4-bagger. First event for Danielle this season. Former Nebraska player as well. Very solid college career as a Cornhusker. The Raising Cane's River Center, of course, site of the USBC Women's Championships. It was also the home of the NCAA Women's Bowling Championship, as well as the Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships. See a couple of players with some strings here. One of them, Liz Johnson, aforementioned. Another is Michelle Sterner. She's got the front 5. She is on lane 31. I get a good look here at Tanya Lopez. Out of Team Mexico, Mexican national champion. On their version of the team trials this year. So we'll see Tanya, of course, in some international competition. Pretty strong squad when you think about Mexico as well. Lopez, Lilia Robles, Sandra Gongora. Michelle Sterner, meanwhile, now with 6 in a row. As we look across to the lower end of this beautiful facility here. Of course, big thanks to Greg Moore. All of his hard work and diligence, the staff and crew. And guys Dave and Brody and everyone. Certainly doesn't happen overnight to build this type of bowling center essentially inside a building or facility, but that's what we're looking at. If there's anyone that knows more about the building and the facility, it's Aaron Smith. Because he does cool things. And got to watch a little bit of it.
Occasionally I do get to do cool things, Guy. But yes, just a testament of the hard work, labor of love from Greg Moore, Dave McKeon, and the whole USBC Championship production team. Put this place together from an empty convention center floor in just 8 weeks. I believe the actual total might have been 57 days from start to finish. So 8 weeks and a little bit of change. They like a nickel's worth. But these guys always do a great job, and very much appreciated in the early going from the NCAA, of course the collegiate, ITC, ISCs as well. They've gotten to experience the convention center setting a few times. But first time for the NCAA, those folks were pretty impressed by this great venue. It's been built out before 2005, 2012 for the USBC Open Championships. Those guys, special group, hardworking group. And one thing we didn't mention, we talk about how great the facility is. Never mentioned just how pristine the conditions are themselves. These lanes leveled to 1/20th of an inch. USBC standard is 40, so these are even flatter than the requirements by when you go home, when you go bowl league. So it's as level as they get out there. Of course, this challenging condition provided by Kegel as well. 41 feet. These ladies bowling on the burn, so got some practice before the opening block earlier today. 5 games, some more practice. Lane's got to sit for a while, so we'll see if this is a squad where some ladies go ahead and get all those pins. Maybe more of a grind on the fresh for their final 10 games. A few ladies, I'm sure, eagerly awaiting their time on the fresh. Of course, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider here for the USBC Queens as well as the PWBA. and a proud gold partner, along with Storm, Columbia 300, and Hammer. Getting back to the topography and the, just want to make sure I said that right earlier, so I will reread the rule that I wrote. I didn't write the rule, but in the press release about the opening of this venue, USBC rules dictate the tolerance for crowns and depressions plus cross tilt must be within 40 thousandths, there we go, of an inch of flat to be certified by USBC. Here at the Raising Cane's River Center, we tighten the tolerance to 20 thousandths of an inch to further ensure the integrity of the playing field.
Well, there you have it.
And all that really means is shot making even more at a premium, which it should be already. These tough conditions do that regardless, but throw it on some of the flattest lanes in the world. Shot makers are going to do their thing this week, and they're going to probably do well.
As some people say, nothing but a shot for a shot maker. And there it is. I'll tell you who's making shots right now. A lot of people. Sherry Tan is off to a fantastic start. She's over on lane 34. She will be heading into the 10th frame shortly, and she has the front 9. Oh, excuse me. I beg your pardon. She can max out for 290.
That'd be kind of embarrassing with the front 9.
Wouldn't it?
I mean, it'd still be cool, but I feel that would not be the game plan, so.
Daphne Tan also off to a good start. Those two sisters, Sherry and Daphne from Singapore. In fact, last week they bowled each other in the group stepladder final, one of them, which saw Sherry Tan earn a spot onto the TV finals, the Fountain Valley Open, which will be taped next week right here in this venue.
Now, Sherry's the older sister, correct?
Correct.
She's been on TV a few times. She's won. Shouldn't she have taken it easy on younger Daphne there?
I thought that might have been the time for Daphne.
I said, here you go, kid, this one time.
Let's take a quick look at Sherry.
And Daphne as well. Daphne getting up on the approach, one lane to the left. Also have Michelle Sterner here, getting off to a nice start as well. So we'll see if we can get both her and Sherry in the camera view. Michelle started with 7 consecutive strikes, 8 spare in the 8th. She's 1 strike away from 278. Unfortunately, going to be second in the squad after game 1 with that 278.
Well, I tell you, B Squad must have been really watching us earlier, watching A Squad on extra frame. They've come out and not playing around.
It's the first major of the year. Not time to mess around.
It is not time. Can't do it, like my man Mike Singletary said. Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
Gonna make a bold prediction.
Cotton.
Plus 141 will not be leading after this squad.
That might be fair.
Off to the races here. B squad, the burn.
Sherry Tan.
Get it while you can.
Trying a different ball on the field and still striking. 290 for Sherry Tan. Michelle Sterner, 278. Daria Payong, who we somehow just missed.
Among all that, yes.
Shot 277 on the same pair.
We were conveniently blinded by all the strikes from Sherry Tan.
Yeah, that was the first. My eye caught that one first. So there you have it, folks. Back to 27 and 28. Big shout out to the bonus cameras. Get camera.
Ferdy Crawley with 267. Fresh off making the TV show in Fountain Valley. Lindsey Boomershine can strike out to get to 280. Marianne Clausen here fighting the good fight. No strikes, but clean through 8.
I would take it. Still get off to a decent start here. Looking for a first strike. That's got a chance. Come on. There it is. Going out of their 7-pin. Starting to see a lot of local support from a fan perspective. Come on through the River Center. Of course, we got started pretty early this morning. Work is certainly important. We start to come in, get a little lunch break, take in some bowling. See what else we have here. Across the pairs.
We've got some pretty good games going on 29 and 30 here between Danielle and Liz. Where's Lindsay at? She's still striking. Yep, she struck in the 9th, so still on cruise control. Can get to 280. Juliana Franco, 255, way down on 5 and 6.
Ayala with a 4-9 in the 10th. He's going to give it a run. Open in the 10th for Mariana, 187. Andy Lopez after that early double. Just a couple spares. Now 9 spare. I'm looking to end things on a good note here. She'll end it on a 9-pin. Shoot 164. I'll say hello to John McLaughlin, also known as Irish Pokey. Checking in, watching. Of course, Marianne opens in the 10th, leaves a big 4. Liz Johnson 4-9 in the 10th. Well, 4-9s really put a stop to a game sometimes, don't they?
They do. It's close enough to possibly carry, possibly just leave a 4 or 9, something nice and easy and makeable, and all of a sudden, if you're not converting, you're losing 20, 30 pins real quick. Liz takes the 1. Could have been 250s that game. Settles for 225. Nice shot there from Julie for the double. She's going to be in the 230s. Lindsay Boomershine did finish off that 10th frame. She got the 280. Going to be sitting in second by all accounts. Business is about to pick up. It's the great Jim Ross would say.
The great. .280, Lindsay Boomershine. So we've had what? 290, 280, 278, 277. And Verity Crawley, did she shoot 260?
260s, which is like fifth. So yeah, a lot 230s up there as well, 220s.
Well, that bar's been raised. C-Squad, if you watch it. Better be ready.
Game on point.
Get your popcorn ready.
Speaking of some of those big games, it looks like Daria Payuk making her way to our featured pair, at least according to the scoreboard.
All right, Daria Payuk from Poland by way of Weber International. Kayla Bandy. And Ghislaine van der Tol from the Netherlands. All right, Amanda Green, again, Mandy Eaton and Shannon O'Keefe. It's another person who has, or two people, as they bowl next to one another. Kayla Bandy spent a considerable amount of time here in Baton Rouge for both NCAA Women's Championships and the ITCs, and ISCs for that matter. As well as Shannon O'Keefe, of course, who now owns 2 titles, 2 national titles.
She's also bowled a 300 in this building.
How about that?
The 2012 USBC Open Championships here at the River Center. Back when it was known only as the Baton Rouge River Center, not the Raising Cane's River Center. As deliciously as it sounds now. And here's the crazy part. Raising Cane's originated here in Baton Rouge.
They did.
The original one not too far away from here, right by the campus of LSU. Not a Raising Cane's chicken finger or delicious dipping sauce on site yet, though.
Now, we have conversated about this.
I gotta say it's going to happen at some point, but just not yet.
The one thing we don't know, at least I know I don't know, I can't confirm. Now, of course, there is an arena side to this establishment of this building, this facility. What we don't know is if there is indeed Raising Cane's inside of the arena portion.
That's a fair assessment.
Because one would think, oh,
wow.
Ooh. Sometimes they just catch you in mid-sentence. Excuse me. 8-pin. But, like I said, what we don't know is if it's in the arena. My guess is it probably is, right? I mean, it's the naming rights are there. It's the namesake now.
It's going to happen.
Now, this is the convention space, so there's generally not a lot of action all year long, of course. And for that matter, nowhere to really put a spot like that, or a restaurant, so to speak.
But to be fair, though, the food that they do have here is very good. They have on the low end of the house, we're behind lanes 27 through 30, but over on the low end, they have like, on the high end, there's more of kind of like your general concession stand, you know, has your ballpark favorites, so to speak. Then they have like the Baton Rouge, Louisiana specialty concession area. They don't mess around. They make some good stuff there. Cash only.
Straight cash, homie.
Cash only. That's the only thing with that. You get written out receipts too, but that's all right because it's good. Get yourself a po' boy, some gumbo.
It is good. I had way too much of it back in 2012. The gentleman's name is leaving me. He and his wife run it. They have other establishments in the city. Saw them at ITCs. They were kind of setting up, re-inhabit the building. Made eye contact and recognized it. How about that? That's fantastic. Payonk. First strike comes in the fourth frame. Amanda Green. And another consistent year last season. The 2016 PWBA Tour. She is a PWBA champion. Won the Lincoln Open in 2015.
Wire to wire.
The Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open. Rare miscue. I feel like whenever I start talking about someone, they make a mistake. But to finish that thought, she was between her and Diana Z. Diana Zavialova. The only two players to qualify for the season-ending Smithfield PWBA Tour Championship without making a televised appearance.
That's just a testament to some very, very consistent performances and maybe a little bit of bad luck along the way too. Just never have it all match up to make a show, but you're doing work. You're making Sean Lee proud.
Hashtag.
But obviously you get the spots from the champions as long as they're members. So that was, I believe, our defending champion, Bernice Lim, the only amateur, if you will, in the sense, who was not a PWBA member, so she did not get the ticket to the Tour Championship. Daria said, "I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't like it, but it did cool things and it struck." That was what that look was.
Yeah, she did not like it. It was certainly right.
But that's a good sign, though. If you, that's what you want to see out here on the burn. This is your opportunity to potentially get your pins early.
Van der Tor.
5 for 5. This is my first time seeing her compete, and I don't know if everyone can notice it on extra frame, but she's actually wearing like a little, I don't know the proper term for it.
I do not either, so I don't want to mess it up.
I mess up plenty of things.
It looks like you would want to say like a scarf, but it's probably really not called a scarf.
I would agree. Yes, the scarf that's not a scarf. A different look. I like it though. It's bringing something new to the.
I like it too. Yeah, it's different.
Bringing something new to the table. Let's see what happens if I Google scarf. That's not a scarf.
Yeah, let us know what you find.
If it's appropriate.
Rocio with 5 in a row. Rocio will be bowling next week no matter what happens here at the Queens. She is qualified for 2 TV shows. Top overall seed, the Cubic AMF PWBA Sonoma County Open and the PWBA Storm Sacramento Open. Another 8-pin there for, this time it was Daphne Tant. Front 6 for Vandertoel. Ayuk once more and again on the, in the 7th frame. Really good shot there for Mandy Eaton. Looking for 7 and a little bit outside. Leave something makeable. Already +6 after 1 game. All right, let's take a look at some scores here. Richard Sherry Tan at +90. Lindsay Boomershine with 280. Sterner. Shell Sterner from Niagara Falls, +78. Ayon +77. Crawley +67. Juliana Franco shot 255 in game 1. Jody Westner shot 239. Natalie Goodman 238. Shannon O'Keefe 237. Brittany Smith 235. Joey Young +234. Excuse me. The B squad as a whole, the mean would be very high. Scores in round, or excuse me, game number 1.
Although some of those big scores, struggling a little bit, slowing down a little bit here in game 2 for Sherry. She didn't have a strike until the 6th frame. Now trying to get it back at the end. She can get to 202 this game. For Michelle Sterner, she's going to be in the 170s. We have a few folks keeping the momentum up from game 1 to game 2. Jody Wessner, 239 in the opener. She's got 6 out of 7. Max score 280. A few pairs to our right. Boomershine had a split in the 5th frame, but the rest of that game looking pretty solid overall. Taking a few frames to adjust to the new pair. Daria has settled in nicely. Can get to 237 this game and get to plus 100 really quickly. She had a very nice qualifying session in Queens last year as well. Finished, I believe, 2nd overall. Don't think match play went too well for the young player from Poland. But at the time, she was just finishing up her collegiate career, so obviously had the opportunity to continue to further her game. I know throughout the season leading up to the start of the 2017 run here, just constant posts at the Kegel Training Center day after day, just new things she's working on to further her game. And I know in our roundtable on pwba.com, one of the talking points was who might be Rookie of the Year, and Daria's name definitely got thrown around in that hat quite a bit.
And as well as it should. That type of talent. But translates into professional success at some point. She's already had, as you mentioned, some pretty good showings in match play at the U.S. Women's Open, which is by far certainly not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, made the top 24 there. Were the 2 majors the only thing she bowled last year? I want to say.
You know, I think so.
Delivers the first strike in the 10th. The 237 still out there. Shannon O'Keefe can get to 211 this game.
Pretty good shot there. Liz Culkin shot 233 down on lane 39. 7-10 in the 10th frame for Amanda Green. Mentioned Sherry Tan struggling on that pair. Shot 176. That is 39 and 40. And not much follow-up success. Michelle Sterner, 178. Couple opens in the middle, 2 splits. Liana Franco, she shot 234 though. It's a good follow-up. Daria, it's a good follow-up, 237 to her 277.
She'll be plus 114. I don't think Lindsay can. Yeah, maybe 50. She can get into the 230 still with a few strikes in the 9th and the 10th. I guess you could technically only get 1 strike in the 9th, so 1 strike in the 9th and a few strikes in the 10th. How about that?
Sounds like a winner.
There is a young fan who is tuckered out in front of us.
I remember those days.
Tuckered out. I'm kind of jealous. I don't know if I could pull off the napping on the chairs anymore. It's been a long time, but gotta get excited for the excitement coming up throughout the course of the whole week. So you can't get too excited too early. We're just in day 1 of qualifying. Long way to go here at the 2017 USBC Queens. Caleb Bandy's going to get a few of those pins back after a rough start. One more strike will get her to 213. As you mentioned earlier, Kayla has already spent a lot of time here in Baton Rouge. Past 2 months. NCAA and ITC appearances for Maryland Eastern Shore, where she is the head women's bowling coach. Also had one of her players, Jackie Rhoda, make the semifinals of the Intercollegiate Singles Championships, so she got some time on CBS Sports Network. And also is part of the team that's leading here at the USBC Women's Championships, along with Jennifer King, who we saw last round, and Daphne and Michelle Smith. We're all done with game 2.
Just like
Goes
that.
quick.
All right, no bowling going on the feature pairs as of yet. But that will change here momentarily. So while we can, take a look at the pair to the left, 25 and 26. Joey Yo. With Maria Jose Rodriguez and Sarah Mitch. Hello to William Watkins watching. For the kind words, William. Appreciate it. Hope all is well. Judy, to your question, unsure. We'll look to learn a little more when we can. Of course, there are a couple pair with four players in the cross, so naturally those would take a little bit longer, but not too much. As Mary Wells finishing things out. Lindsay Boomershine, shot 213. Jessica Malott. Good shots. Again, another bowler familiar with this venue from McKendree. What game are we in here? 3?
3.
Wow. Okay.
Because remember that one time we were in game 2 and then it finished? And now we're in game 3.
How about that?
Because we talked about players who did well in game 1.
Sure. That happened so long ago.
Not necessarily finding the right look into game 2 when they moved pairs. But then some of them they did.
Okay, guy.
And now they've moved on to the next game. This is what I bring to the table.
What a jokester.
This is why you get the full run of the tour, and They only let me on at occasional times.
Well, if you were there more, I wouldn't forget what game it was. It happens more times than it should. Because there's a lot happening.
Speaking of a lot happening, we now have competitors ready to go on 29-30, so we're ready to go for game 3. So over on 27-28, Stephanie Adams, Brooke Bauer, and Jamie Martin. 29-30, Amanda Fry, Lauren Payton, Lindsay Boomershine, and Mary Wells. As I mentioned with Lindsay, 280 out of the gates, 213 second game, so she's at plus 93. She's leading the way for this group. Not the overall leader at the moment, or at least for B squad. Plus 141 from Shampuhowski, the leading 5-game total at the moment. But we suspect that score will be topped as strikes begin to add up for a few players here.
Two pin there for Lindsay Boomershine. Of course, Lindsay and her husband Hank have recently welcomed a new baby boy into the world a few months back.
And congratulations to them. Baby Aiden, right?
That is correct.
Actually, we just got to see, or I got to see, you didn't get to see her. I got to see Lindsay and Hank at the USBC Open Championships just before they came out here. So you can be jealous. It was good to see and talk with those folks, even if it's just for a quick minute. Hank, of course, the USBC Gold coach.
Good shot there from Mary Wells. Nice early double. Junior Team USA member. Micah Malott continues to strike. Double, 9 spare, and a 3-bagger. Juana Puentes, 5 in a row, and then 6-10. Strepo just rips racks. Another player who is I talked about in that PWBA roundtable in regards to Rookie of the Year is Amanda Fry, former Vanderbilt University player, Junior Team USA member.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, very well represented. There we go. That's what I wanted to say in the field today, or this week, I should say. We had Josie Ernest Barnes, former player now, current coach, helping out John Williamson. Did you see Robin Renslow? Is she in attendance this week? She had a great run last year here at the Queens.
I've not seen her as of yet.
Might be on C Squad coming up. If only there was a place we could look to verify that we posted on the website, so we should know where it's at.
I don't see her name.
Robin may not be here, but that doesn't take away from the great performance last year.
Absolutely. And 3 really good solid performances so far on the PWBA Tour as well. Good shot there from Boomershine. Another striking going on here on 29 and 30 so far. Stephanie Adams with some help.
Take it when you can get it. Take advantage if you can. But Lindsay also made a nice run here last year. Made her way through the bracket. One of those players on the cusp of capturing that first title. Made a TV show last year in St. Petersburg. Maybe not the way she would have hoped that TV show would have gone, but learning experience definitely had by all. And of course, once you make it to the big show, that just instills a little bit more confidence in the game. Saying, hey, I know I can do this. You know, I got the tools. Let's do it again. And certainly showing something here in the early going 2017 Queens.
Amanda Fry, 5 in a row. Jamie Martin out with a double.
See Brooke Bauer here on lanes 27 and 28. Another up-and-comer here. Been on the tour the past few years. Brooke actually got to celebrate a pretty cool moment with her father just a few days ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, along with her sister Nicole. We got to watch their father, USBC Hall of Famer Gary Bauer, get inducted, or not inducted, he's already inducted, but get to make his 50th USBC Open Championships appearance, which is so unbelievably cool in its own right. They actually got to help march him to his lanes, so got to be a part of the presentation as well. And the day afterwards, we got to see their father's longtime teammate, Marvin Bud Stout, joined the 100,000 Pinfall Club at the event. So that's a pretty cool 2-day stretch. Get to see a lot of cool things happen.
Six in a row now for Amanda Fry.
Quietly one pair to their right, Rocio Restrepo, 8 out of 9 strikes, can shoot .279. Leanne Holsenberg looking to get into the 260s this game. Michelle Sterner has a chance to get back, and spoke too soon. Could have shot 260, but I split in the 10th, way over on 9 and 10. So in the bigger games at the moment, that isn't the plethora of strikes on 29 and 30. Not the way Lauren Pate planned to have 6 in a row, but crossed over, it works.
And the run-ins for Amanda. 3, 5, 6. Excuse me. Oop. 8-pin again for Restrepo. First shot and the 10th. That's nice. Feel free to let us know where you're watching, folks. Drop a comment on the live now post on Facebook and or Twitter. Oh, wow.
Wow. Amanda has no idea she made that spare.
Wowzers.
She said, I did what I was supposed to do, hit the lead pin, chopped it. Go get him next time. Bonus. Full range of emotions right there. Nice cover there from Lindsay.
Well, a lot to look forward to for the rest of the season, Aaron Smith. Really the first quarter of the tour finishing up this week.
Lauren Pate bounces back after cashing in the Brooklyn in the 6th, makes a great shot in the 7th. We only have one parent Pate in attendance this week.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with that. Gotta make sure our guys are all right.
Pops Pate, where you at, man? Of course, a great storyline from the ITCs and ISCs. Lauren, I was going to say had now that Nick has graduated, but the Pate family had 3 siblings all on the collegiate level. Lauren bowling for McKendree, her older brother Nick at Midland, and her twin brother Joshua at Wisconsin Whitewater. All of them were competing at the 2017 ITCs here last month, so got to see the full Pate group in attendance. They did pretty well. Nick took home the singles title. Lauren, a pair of national titles on the NCAA and ITC side. And then Joshua and Wisconsin Whitewater almost made it to the finals on CBS Sports Network, finishing in that semifinal spot. That show is going to air May 30th. On CBS Sports Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. McKendree taking on Weber International in the men's final. Leanne Holsenberg finishes with 267 in game 3 to get to plus 92. Daria 204, she's at plus 118 now. Jody Wessner actually was the leader after 2 games at plus 119, but she was finding some struggles way down on the low end on 5 and 6 to max out for 170. So after that big start, scores have kind of settled down a little bit. Make it 8 for 8, Lauren Pate. Hey, that rhymed. Brooke Bauer finishes up 203, Stephanie Adams 211, and Jamie Martin 201 on 27 and 28. So we'll be moving on to game 4 next.
Strepo shot 258. Kimmy Davidson 255. He's looking at some of the scores that repeating what Aaron mentioned. Amanda Green struggled on our feature pair previous game, but had some momentum, had 6 in a row. First shot in the 10th, no good. Okay, here comes Lauren Pate. Lauren looking for the front 9.
Lindsay going to get well over plus 100 here. Actually, it looks like she has a shot to move into the lead after 2 rounds, or lead after B squad, I should say. Be more appropriate. One more strike will get her to 239. That would be plus 132. By all accounts, new clubhouse leader on B squad. Several of Lauren's teammates on McKendree anxiously watching. Sarah Willie in the stands, Jessica Malott on the lanes watching. Here we go, Lauren Pate looking for 10 in a row to start game 3. Great shot. Rings the 10. So no time getting into game number 4 on 27 and 28. Hall of Famer Carolyn Dorn-Ballard, Brianna Cote, and Jenny Notman from Australia joining us over there as we finish up game 3 on 29 and 30. Say it's a good day when 225 is low on the pair. Some big scores. Amanda Fry 241, Lindsay Boomershine 239, Mary Wells, despite 2 late opens, did a lot of striking early on. Get to 225, and final shot here, Lauren Pate looking to finish up at 279. We are at a plus 92. Ever popular 275 in the books. She'll be at plus 88 now. Lindsay Boomershine, new leader after 3 here for B squad. And within range of the overall leading plus total, now at 132. Joining us on 29 and 30, Juliana Franco, Robin Orlikowski, and Kimmy Davidson. Shot from Jenny there. Poor result. Stuff 8. Jenny Notman at plus 26. Brianna Cote and CDB looking for a big game 4 to get on the right side of plus. Double for Carolyn. Barely got the 10 out in the second frame. No doubter right there. Juliana Franco at plus 97. Kimmy Davidson at -3. Robin Orlikowski at -101. Just a reminder to everyone watching, first off, thanks. Keeping us company here on Bull TV on Extra Frame. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr. and Jason Thomas. That despite the fact we only have 2 games left to go in this round, we're not done for the day. C Squad opening round of qualifying coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 local time, here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll be back on the fresh. So our good friends at Kegel, Eric Pearson, pressing the buttons this week. So they'll recondition the lanes after the ladies finish up this round. And then C Squad will get their 5 games in before we call it a day. Nice bounce back shot there from Brianna. It looked like she liked that last shot on 27. Just kind of did a little bit more than she was expecting. I saw Carolyn run high on that shot as well, or on that lane as well. Right here on a shot that looked pretty close. Traffic is piling up though.
I can't believe the start that we saw from so many players in game 1.
Well, you got. It makes sense to. Granted, I didn't expect 267 to be 5th on the block, but get 15 minutes on the pair, you get to see some friction early, and
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you never know what's going to happen on the next pair, how they might have played them. Wow, that is one very stubborn 7-pin there for Jasmine Snell. It's going to have to get reset. I don't know if everyone saw that on 26, but that thing moved around, danced a little. Ten-pin in the 4th for Franco, but once again off to a great start. Plus 97 through 3. Started with 3 strikes. Has she been bowling the first few stops, or is this the first look at the season at Juliana Franco?
Yes, this is the first event of the season for her. Nice break there for Kimmy Davidson. So a couple players make debuts in Sacramento, and then some more made a debut in Fountain Valley. Of course, we've had players bowl all 3 and now all 4 as well. You know, that first leg, for those who can't bowl the first couple of the queens, is kind of the one that a lot of people get a chance to start out with. Of course, it's an event that always enjoyable for the participants to bowl as well, and then you get the best in the world all at the same time. A good way for some to kick off the season, of course, and for others, this is the 4th or the 3rd or the 2nd. Seeing a little bit of variety. Our tour is very diverse in the sense of, from an occupational standpoint. So many teachers are finishing up. April Ellis is a teacher, of course. This will be her first event of the year. She is bowling on the C Squad, for example.
And I'm sure that's something that comes up at every broadcast, every live stream, but really a telling thing about how dedicated these ladies are to the sport, that the majority here are doing this along with full-time job, family. So not only making it out to the events, but staying sharp, practicing. I was happy to get 3 games in before the Open Championships, and then felt like that was a chore. So I definitely have a respect for the effort to live this dream. To Carolyn, you got to flex a little bit after sawing the 5 out that strong.
I believe the term these days, the youth, flex on them.
Flex on them.
I wouldn't know. I'm a little old.
You are getting up there, but that's okay.
Shot from Notman. Of course, standings results all available in a couple places. World.com/Queens, pwba.com/live. You can also just visit, if you'd like to get to the schedule page on the PWBA website, you can as well. It's under tournaments, click on schedule. Lindsey Boomershine already at +132 after 3 games. Strepo at +122, Payuk at +118. Oh, wow. Shot looked way better than that.
I'd have to agree. I thought that was going to read up a little bit sooner and have a little more impact at the pins. Unfortunately, a result I'm well too familiar with.
Aaron Smith special. Gonna get a 2-piece.
Make it a 2-piece, really?
So we'll start calling that now that actually I said that.
That's all right. I like that. That's
2-piece with fries if you leave at 7. That's just one of those frames. I feel like that just only happen in this sport. Throw a pretty good shot, you think it's way better than the result. Leaves you with a tough spare, and then, you know, if you make it, fantastic. And you miss it when you probably should have made it, you know.
Or make a great shot like that and get the stare back in an 8-pin. Yowza. Uh-oh. I'm going to make it all the way back and... It's 28. Not giving any breaks right now.
No, it's it. That ball would, of course, obviously been better off missing the head pin in that situation, but it got on the horse, but not enough giddy up there. I want to say she makes this. Almost.
Over on 23 and 24, Missy Klug starting with 7 consecutive strikes. I think they're getting ready to step up in the 8th frame. Nice cover by Rebecca Martin of the 479 on 26. You saw that to the left of your screen. Of course, these competitors will be on the fresh for the next 2 days. With authority right there, CDB delivers the double in the 10th.
Yeah, I think she was just tired of.
I don't blame her. She gets a hit, or at least it's part of a break on that 9th frame, and do something a little bit more simple to pick up. All of a sudden, she's in the 230s instead of the 220s. Now a strike will just get her back to even.
Likowski, a nice 3-bagger. Don't recall this past summer, Aaron, but was Juliana Franco a part of the APCON Women's Team Champions or Colombia?
I want to say yes. I'm not 100% confident in that answer, but I'm in the upwards of 90% confident. If only Matt Cannizzaro were here, he would know immediately.
He would. I think she was. Perhaps with Joanna Puentes.
That's something we can look up on bowl.com real quick. Since I got a correction in the chat, or not in the chat, but a message from USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandlin. I mispronounced Missy Klug's name a little bit earlier, so I wanted to get that right. Missy ended up leaving a 10-pin in the 8th frame, converted it, struck in the 9th, and has struck on her first shot in the 10th, so she can get to 279 this game. That would push her to more than plus 100. Some more background on Missy, a former Team USA player, formerly Missy Howard. Also past titleist at the Women's Championships in 2010. I believe she won the doubles title with Carol Giannotti. Missy Klug finishes with 268 that game, so she's plus 24. We'll get to plus 92. See, Michelle Sterner's at plus 110. Daria Payuk, 248 that game. She's at plus 166. Rocio Restrepo, 214 to get to plus 136. Lindsay Boomershine. She can get into the 237 is her max score. That would get her to plus 169. That would keep her in the lead for B squad and actually put her in the lead overall.
Look at 29 through 32 here. Jamie Davidson, 10th frame. See Anita Arnett. Anita Mans, if that name rings a bell. Former Player of the Year at Wichita State. Husband Omar in attendance, watching on, looking. There's Verity Crawley.
She's looking for a double in the 10th here. Plus 58 and mixes them up. She can get to 217 this game. Get her to plus 75. For Anita Arnett. Kimmy Davidson finishes things up.
Tough last portion of the game there for Kimmy. 175. All right, 217 for Verity. She'll be bowling for a title next week. 10th seed, Fountain Valley Open.
10th frame for Jody Wessner. She can get to 239 this game. That would put her back to better than plus 100. Had some struggles in game 3 after shooting 280 in game 2. They've gotten up to plus 119. Plus 188 after 3. Footwork did not necessarily do what she planned, but the result matched. 214 for Lindsay Boomershine. Plus 146, so Daria in the lead overall. Starting game 5 on 27 and 28. Sherry Tan has not enjoyed the last 3 games as much as she enjoyed the first. After 290 to kick things off, it's gone minus 50. Her last 3 games now sits at plus 40. She is joined on the left side here by Ashley Rucker at plus 85. Their third, Blair Blumenscheid at minus 3. Over on 29 and 30, Hall of Famer Leanne Holsenberg at plus 73. And Stefania Cobo minus 23, and Kayla Johnson plus 17. Shot by Leanne. Recently got added to the senior Team USA roster for the upcoming World Bowling Senior Championships taking place in Germany coming up in a few months here. I got to orchestrate that phone call. It was something else because
Really?
I really did. It was, well, in cahoots with Matt Cannizzaro.
I was going to say, because that guy took all the credit.
He usually does, but that's okay. That's all right. But so Matt let me know, like, hey, we're going to be announcing this pretty quickly. Everyone else had been called so far on the team, and the only person they had left was Leanne. Obviously, she was in Las Vegas bowling the Open Championships. So Matt comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you know, it'd be cool as if he like orchestrated that phone call and then just tape the phone call." And I'm like, "Well, that just sounds awkward. Why would I do that?" He's like, "Oh, maybe it'll be cool." So after she finished bowling, we had orchestrated things with Team USA head coach Rod Ross, and it's like, all right, well. So I wrote down Rod's number on a piece of paper, and I went up to Leanne. I was like, "Hey, Leanne, how's it going? This is going to sound weird, but Matt wanted me to call, or wanted me to give you this number to call right now, because they're expecting you to call. And what's also going to be weird is I'm going to videotape it." And she's like, "I don't like surprises." And I'm like,
You'll like this.
"I understand, but when Matt goes back with the Holzenbergs for a long time, so I'm like, this is coming from Matt. This isn't coming from me. Would Matt do you wrong?" She's like, "No, not Matt." I'm like, "All right." She's like, "Okay." And then that happened to be Rod's number, and got to spread the good word of the World Bowling Senior Championships.
How about that? Pretty good story.
Something different. I don't think we used the video though, because it ended up being a little bit longer phone call than.
Was she bowling, like actually bowling?
No, she had just finished up doubles and singles.
Oh.
So,
I was gonna say, because you can't be interrupted.
Yes, that would the pace of play is important at the Open Championships.
Absolutely.
So we made sure it was after she had completed her allotted time on the lanes at South Point.
Shot there from Kayla Johnson on lane 30. Kayla plus 17. Leanne plus 73 in the timeless style of one of the greats.
Past champion here at the Queens. Well, that one will have to come back.
I have black clouded some people today. Every time I say something good and recite an accolade. Know what that means? Can't stop talking.
That's why people tune in, remember? Shannon O'Keefe said it specifically.
Not to black cloud people. Rucker. Good shot.
Another player who has seen some time here at the River Center is Stefania Kobo, part of the Wichita State collegiate program. She actually made the singles portion as well. Good shot there, rings the 10.
Aaron, did you get a chance to eat earlier during our first break? Did you do that?
I did.
You did do that.
Got a hot dog.
It hit me that I did not do that, and it's really hitting me now.
Well,
the body is alerting me.
If there's a bright side, it's game 5 of 5.
Yes.
If there's an additional bright side, there's an oil break. So at the moment, we have nearly 3 hours till we start up again. So if you're unable to accomplish that between now and then we have to have a long talk.
About my priorities.
Not priorities, but necessarily time management and scheduling.
Thanks, Dad.
But before we do that, we still got half a game to go here.
Indeed.
Gotta figure out if. Oh, trip it. Pushing the pin forward. Right-hander's best friend. So for Sherry Tan, she made the show at Fountain Valley. But that was her second event of the year, correct? She bowled
that is
Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
Was unable to defend her title there.
Mm-hmm.
But came back nicely the next year. She actually missed the cut in Sacramento, right?
Yes. She was 33rd, actually.
33rd, first place out, so came back motivated and refocused for the next event. And she did Sherry Tan things.
Now, we talked a little bit about Sherry Tan last week. Actually, a lot. In the sense of, from a strategy standpoint. And for her at the time, on that particular pattern and that center, she was having trouble getting the ball down the lane. And I think after round one, she polished up a couple bowling balls. And during Saturday play, you saw some shiny go down the lane as well. She also threw in a little urethane. And she was the only left-hander to make definitely match play. And I want to say the cashier's round. But 100% match play. Like, she just gets it done. Just takes care of business. It was a good week for Team Singapore. Unfortunately, with the exception of New Wei Finn. Wei was
something not said very often.
Yeah, Wei was the only member of Team Singapore not to make the cashier's round.
So what you're saying is she's probably going to do what Sherry did last week and refocus and say that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
And she's probably going to go like 200 over next round.
I think so. Certainly wouldn't surprise us. Saw how good and talented she was last year. Shane Ong was in the group step ladder along with Daphne Tan. Of course, Sherry Tan ended up being the one player who made it out of the group step ladders last week. Aaron already doing some calculations. Who might be leading?
What was that pronunciation again?
Aaron. It's important to note that Mr. Garvey is in attendance. Little did people know that he's a ball representative, ball manufacturer representative.
When he's not teaching?
When he is not teaching.
Oh, this is still teaching.
He's not substitute teaching.
Although he looks young for doing it for 20 years, so I'm gonna shout out to him.
For over 20 years. We're speaking of the real life Mike Calderon, who, for those of you who may not know Mike,
it's a good dude right there.
He is a good dude, and because of this tour, I've had the privilege to get to know him a little bit. But when I first saw him, and Aaron Smith can attest that I'm a stout substitute teacher, skit reciter. And if you're, again, unfamiliar, check out Key and Peele Substitute Teacher. I encourage you to Google it, YouTube it. It's, I'm not going to say it's life-changing, but it'll definitely brighten your day. But Mike Calderon, I noticed, I said, man, he looks just like, of course, Key. And Mr. Garvey and the skit. And of course, little did I know I wasn't the only person who thought that, and he told me some stories about how people have thought he was him or Mike was Key in real life at restaurants and such. And that's one of those, you just got to roll with it when it happens.
Just got to roll with it.
Just break out into character. All right, Holstenberg after that early double, and there's some trouble in the third. A couple spares, and back on the board, striking a 7. Squad qualifying, about to wrap things up here. The Raising Cane's River Center. A shot there again from Kayla Johnson. Kayla got off to a good start on the season. Made match play in week 1. Again, on a very demanding condition, so. See a fist pump there from Carolyn Doran-Ballard. A little bit more success than last time we saw her, although she did shoot 220, but as Aaron mentioned at the time, certainly could have been much, much more even through 4 games.
Yeah, she was thinking 240, 250 there. Nice cover by Sherry Tan. Stay clean here in the finale, but CDB knows when it's out there, knows when she needs to get it. But she's making up for that here in the finale. Can max out for 269. She's even at the moment, so that would be a sizable jump. Lindsey Boomershine has started off with 6 consecutive strikes in the finale at plus 146. She's 20 pins behind Daria Payuk. who has a few doubles, but not on the. You're going to have to explain why you were just dancing back here.
I told you. And you know this already.
I do, but I'm not sure what would have prompted such
I don't know
maneuvers.
either. It just happens, man. I don't know. Oh, you saw it happen. You knew it. Get out of there, 10-pin.
Kayla been throwing it around this game. Using her power to her advantage. Taking some half hits and making cool things happen. She has a chance to, similar to CDB, make up some big ground here in the final game.
Great roll there for Sarah Sosha. Kayla sets up the 10th frame with a strike in the 9th. 267 out there. Get her to plus 84. Jody Wessner, one pair to our left. So those 240s out there. That would get her into the plus 170 range. Lindsey Boomershine, though, 7 for 7. Paiute can only get to 220 this game. That will get her to 186 over. So Lindsay looking in pretty good shape with a few frames to go to move ahead of that pace and grab the lead through 2 squads. Of course, C squad coming up a little bit later, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central and local time here in Baton Rouge. I'm not sure what Sherry was doing there, but she's the important thing is she's having fun, she's smiling, she's striking, she's picking up splits. Saw something on the approach she didn't like, kind of swatted it away. Blair finishes up with 174.
Lindsey Boomershine now 8 for 8 over on lanes 9 and 10. Jason Thomas already down there preparing for cool videos. I'm sure he would do that regardless, but down there just in case. And a little history here, because it's always cool to shoot 300 at a major. Daria finishes up with 207, so she'll be at plus 173. So the clubhouse leader at the moment. It appears it will not be enough.
So that minor look in.
Lindsay is really far away from us right now. So.
She is. She is. We do what we can.
That leaves an 8 count in the 9th frame. On the bright side, you get a great look at this massive venue.
I realize I left the helpful remote in the case, so you can have Zoom right at your fingertips.
All right, we're all done on our featured pairs. Kayla Johnson leading the way with 245. Leanne Holsenberg 193. Stefania Cobo 174. Ashley Rucker 217. Sherry Tan 212. And Blair Blumenscheid 174. There's not much happening between. Oh, we got. Only a few pairs left going here. So 10th frame for Jody Wessner. Then open in the 9th frame. She can convert this single pin and strike on the fill ball to get to 200 even. That would keep her at plus 127. Lindsey Boomershine gets to 267 that game. She's going to be our leader after 2 rounds. Quick math says plus 213. Doesn't mean it's correct math, but it is quick. I was gonna say, I think this will be our final shot. Got some pairs way down there. Still finishing up in the 10th frame, but can't see too much from this angle.
Indeed. And so that will do it, folks, for B Squad round number 1. 5 games in the books. Be sure to check bowl.com/Queens or pwba.com/live for all of your results and standings. Of course, our next squad will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, or 5 p.m. local, of course, here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So until then, we will talk to you a little bit later. We appreciate you watching and tuning in. For Aaron Smith and Jason Thomas, my name is Emil Williams Jr. This has been a presentation of the 2017 USBC Queens live from the Raising Cane's River Center on Bowl TV on Extra Frame.